I'm Aaron, and Lindsay is in the back. I'm sure you saw Ashma as you came in as well, but welcome on behalf of the VANTEC team. Let's jump quickly into a land acknowledgement. All right, so it is with gratitude and respect that we acknowledge that we are gathered today on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territories of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh nations. We have some amazing sponsors and partners, and without them, this wouldn't be possible. So I'd like to give a shout out to Fasken, Tandem Innovation, Go Recruitment, SFU Venture Labs, our location sponsor, Western Pacific Trust Company, Sales Primer, InWest Ventures, Volition, and of course, we get some great grant funding from the Canadian government, NACO, and we also have a partner in the Angel Capital Association. As part of your VANTEC membership, you do get both a NACO and ACA membership as well. All right, so getting into a little bit about VANTEC. We've been around since 1999. Next year is our 25th anniversary, so super excited about that. We'll be throwing a big celebration next summer for that. We have a group of over 180 members, and we have had a huge number of companies present in that almost 25 years. The investments we have seen climb steadily. Obviously, 2021 was a little bit of a down year, but we want to see this continue to climb over the next month or so. You'll be receiving an investor survey, so please do fill that out. That's what we need to report on the impact that VANTEC is having, and so we really want to know where you're putting your dollars, how much has been invested in 2023. So keep an eye out for that. It'll be really helpful to have that filled out. We have some community announcements. Just want to go over these quickly. They are all in our newsletter as well. So if you haven't signed up for that, please do. Vancouver Tech Journal has got a great event with Sahil Bloom coming up on November 3rd, so Friday. The Canadian Women's Network has a program at the end of November for any female founders. It's a pathway to Silicon Valley. So if that's something of interest or you know someone that it might be of interest, please do take a look at the Canadian Women's Network pathway to Silicon Valley. And then UBC has their venture showcase at the end of November as well. The only other one that I want to mention that's not on here is the Angel Forum Summit. That's happening next February. It's a very sought after event. It's a lot of fun. It's out in Victoria, staying at the Oak Bay Hotel. Tickets for that just went on sale today. So don't miss out on that opportunity. It's such a fun few days. All right. Do I have Jackson in the room? I will invite him down to talk a little bit about our startup visa program, which has a huge impact, one of the busiest, most active ones in Canada. And so I'll let Jackson say a few words.
Thank you, Aaron. Welcome all. So our Vancouver VANTEC Star Visa program, it's a young program, but it's attracted a lot of attention, and it's a great opportunity to see the future foreign entrepreneurs that will be coming into our VANTEC ecosystem and making a great contribution to BC ecosystem. In fact, there are a couple of our very active members. James is there if you want to talk to him about his wonderful experience. There's Mike Volker. He's attended them and he liked them because they were on time and they were on point. I've been told it's a rare commodity. So if you're interested, if you're a VANTEC member, you will full VANTEC member, you will receive an email with a Zoom link after this event more or less ends, and then just sign up there and you'll be able to attend. It's a Zoom event. It's online. And if you have more interest about the VANTEC or Star Visa programs, just send an email to suv@vantec.ca. And thank you, Aaron, for the opportunity.
Thank you, Jackson. All right, another announcement just to let everyone know that Bill 13, the Pay Transparency Act, came into effect today. So the spark notes on this is that you have to, on job postings, put at least a range of the salary to be expected for that position. You also cannot ask an applicant for information about their salary at prior jobs. So this is something that our friends at Go Recruitment sent around to us. They're very much on top of the HR side of things. And so an important one for all of you founders out there to know that this is now in effect in British Columbia. All right. Now let's get to some great presentations. So Kieran, if you're in the crowd here, I'll ask you to come up here. So we're going to start with 6 90-second presentations. And the first one is CEO, Seco. And thank you so much, Kieran. Here you go.
Hello, we are Seco AI. We provide sustainable resource management software for mining companies who need innovative technologies to solve operational inefficiencies. Essentially, we leverage data to reduce environmental impact. Mining companies are facing extreme climate risk, increasing divestment, and all-time low for worker productivity, all while demand is set to quadruple. And the root of this problem comes down to slow decision-making caused by data decentralization. The longer it takes for traditional management to make a decision and implement a solution, the more costs are incurred, relationships are damaged, and harm is done to the environment. Seco AI solves these pain points by leveraging company, satellite, and sensor data with machine learning to optimize mining operations. We provide climate target aligned recommendations and offer built-in solutions providers. With key features such as automated compliance, real-time reporting, data visualization, and comprehensive risk forecasting, mines are able to increase productivity, save money, improve stakeholder relations, and minimize their impact on the environment. We are currently doing an iterative pilot with a gold mining company and are having discussions with a potential 3 pilots that are coming up in the following months. We've generated early traction with interest from US Senators, SNC-Lavalin, and Tata Mining Group in India. To accelerate our growth, we've also partnered with Microsoft, Esri, and Foresight Canada. We're currently raising a pre-seed round of $700,000 to fund our product development, and we're looking for a value-aligned lead investor, ideally with connections to the mining industry.
Great. Thank you so much, Kieran. Appreciate it. All right, so the next we have coming up is Corey from Retreats and Venues. And Retreats and Venues is the NVBC winner for this year, so congratulations on that. Let's hear a little bit about Retreats and Venues.
Cool. My name is Corey, co-founder CEO at Retreats and Venues. So Retreats and Venues is the world's largest B2B marketplace for corporate retreats and offsites. Our customers often refer to us as the Airbnb, but focus on the 28 billion plus corporate retreat and offsite market. As second and third time founders who've all ran retreats with our past organizations, we've firsthand seen the impact retreats have transformed our companies and those of our peers, which is why we're super excited to share Retreats and Venues with the world. To give you a little example booking, would love to introduce you to Epic Games, one of the customers that booked a venue in our marketplace. They took their entire team from San Francisco to Spain for a week, where they booked accommodation, food, meeting space, and activities on our platform. They went to Ecomass Seller Gross. It was a $57,000 booking. We make on average 10%, so we made $5,700 on that transaction. The problem with a company like Epic Games, prior to Retreats and Venues, there's no go-to marketplace to find and book a venue for a company retreat and offsite. So you're left to do this process manually using Google, spreadsheets, etc., and can take up to 80 plus hours to do that. So what we're doing at Retreats and Venues is curating all the top retreat venues and data into one streamlined marketplace where you can book that all. Today, you can access 4,200 venues across 6 continents, and we collect 64 retreat-specific data points that can't be found anywhere else online. You can wish list venue options, request availability and pricing, and book all in one single location. Since January 22, we've worked with really amazing companies like Epic Games, Vistaprint, Miro, Close, and have generated over $5 million in venue bookings. We're also really proud that we've been able to ramp our gross booking volume 10x from Q1 22, with the last quarter doing 1.3 million in venue bookings, and we're on pace this quarter to do 2.5 million in bookings. We also won first place in New Ventures BC, which we're very proud of, and we have achieved that all with $200K in funding to date. Overall, we're raising $2 million seed round to get towards our next fundable milestone of 30 million in gross booking or 3 million in revenue, with the ultimate goal of getting to 100 million in revenue with 30,000 bookings. Overall, feel really fortunate to be in a good position, have an amazing team, good traction, and looking for funding partners. Thank you.
Perfect. All right. Next up, I have Geeta from Camportunity.
Hi everyone, I'm Geeta, CEO and co-founder of Camportunity. We're like the Airbnb, but for camping, tapping into the thriving billion-dollar campsite booking industry. The number of people wanting to camp in Canada grows by 3 times each year, yet private land sits idle. Our sleek website meets the demand of campers by connecting them to these unique private campsites and experiences, all while generating thousands of dollars for our hosts. We've seen significant traction with our lean team of 3, comprised of our dedicated CEO, CFO, and CTO. And over the past year, our strategic approach and marketing efforts have led to increases in revenue, return on ad spend, and bookings. Our go-to market strategy has a hyper-local approach. By focusing on specific geographical areas, we're able to increase density for both hosts and bookings. For instance, with about $2,200 in ad spend, we're able to generate almost $12,000 in sales from a single host. And our strategic use of professional photographers on selected campsites has been highly effective, giving us a 3 times return on investment. Our approach is data-driven, using key metrics based on our past trends, learnings, and developments in marketing and user experience, which shows that we're capable of growth and financial sustainability. We're seeking 500K so that we can prove our metrics and grab a large chunk of the market, and money will be for marketing, expanding our platform, and building a small but agile team. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gita. All right. Next up, we've got Bionic Power and Gualtiero. I'll hand over to you.
Bionic Power has a mission. We want to help children to walk better. Every child, even children with disability, deserve to be able to go to school and to keep up with all their peers. Their pathology, their typical pathology is crouch gait. Crouch gait comes from cerebral palsy and is in a degenerative condition. They spend a lot of energy walking. They walk less and less and less. In their adult life, they end be in a wheelchair. Agilic can help them getting out of crouch. Let's see how. Agilic is a smart powered orthosis which recognize each phase of the gait, and in each phase of the gait can either assist or resist the motion of the knee. And so it can help children to walk as normal child of the same developmental age, spending way less energy while walking. I'll show you an example, which is more than 1,000 words. Naya is our very first patient. She is a spina bifida girl. She was at that time 9-year-old. And when she walked with our device on that side, she's much faster. Her stride is longer and she's more secure. And without the device, she has to stop every 3 minutes. With the device, she keep up for almost half an hour of continuous walking. From that video, we make a lot of progresses, and we registered the product with the main agency. We certified the company for quality, and we are starting our sales and marketing campaign. We have distributors around the world, and we are working with the best centers in the world. We are about to launch the last seed round, mostly internal, for 1.2 million in the next week or so. And then we are looking for a venture capital round at some point in 2024. And we are working for strategic distribution partners in US. If you are interested, please contact me.
Great, thank you so much, Gualtiero. All right, next I have Aijan coming, or sorry, I should say Zach, coming to present Aijan here. So I will hand over to you, Zach.
So we are Eigen Fitness, and we're disrupting the fitness industry using AI. So Connor and I are the co-founders. Connor has a a technical background. I have a business background with a deeper understanding of athletics. And really the problem we're solving is that when someone walks into a gym and tries to get a gym membership, every single one of those members are upsold to in-person personal training, which is $800 to $1,000 a month. 95% of those people that are upsold object primarily due to financial reasons and go back down to paying $60 a month. And so we partner directly with gyms to enable them to upsell that 95%. So our integration is 3 parts: nodes, software, and the member app. So clients wear the nodes while they work out to receive live coaching. Personal trainers check in on the software to track client accountability and progression remotely. And we've had exceeding demand around Vancouver. We actually just closed a pilot today. We're launching next week. So great time to come chat with us. And we're partnering with Club 16 in the new year and Gold's Gym BC as well. So we recommend a pricing range of $200 to $250 a month. We take 20% of client revenue. And I might add that the pilots are free for the first 4 weeks and then paid beyond. And so, yeah, no one else is doing this. in gyms targeting the middle 95%. Estimated market opportunity of $9.5 billion in North America. And we're raising a pre-seed round of $250,000. Come find us. We'll be doing some fun demos with the nodes. You can see here I'm wearing them, testing everyone's squats in the back. So thank you, guys.
Great job. Awesome. Thank you, Zach. All right, next we have Sipley Labs, with Katie. I'll hand over to you.
I'm Katie, the CEO of Sipley. Sipley is a product that increases cart size for food delivery companies by adding beverages to the orders. So 95% of the US and basically a mirror in Canada has access to food delivery service, but only 10% of people actually order beverages through those services. So we take what you're eating, in this case, you're seeing a consumer-facing app, but we also can plug into DoorDash, Uber Eats, et cetera. We run it through AI, expert picks, personalization, group trends, et cetera, to give you recommendations that you're gonna like. They aren't necessarily right. They might just be things that are delicious. And then we provide all of the information you need to make a quick decision. A lot of this has come through primary research. We take you somewhere that you can purchase that could be to your house in 30 minutes. 30 to 90 seconds for a decision and 30 minutes for delivery. It means you can drink something delicious with the meal you're having tonight. With over 2 billion delivery orders in the US and Canada alone through 2 services, this is a huge opportunity. Even if we only take $1 for every bottle, the scale in just North America is enormous. We're raising $500K to reach our first scale. And you should come talk to me and Verity, my co-founder, who's a certified sommelier, if you want to talk about wine or beverages or our discussions with Uber Eats, DoorDash, GoPuff, Total Wines in the US. Thanks.
Great. Thank you so much, Katie. All right, so we're getting to our full presentations, and before I hand over to Dean here, I just want to say a couple of things. So any members will have gotten our new investor interest cards that we're bringing back the due diligence deep dive. So if you are interested in any of the 5 companies that are going to be pitching next and would like to dive into due diligence, we get more than 3 interested parties. We will facilitate those sessions next week. So do fill those out. There's also a comment box for any feedback that you have in general about any of the companies. So really hope that you'll take the time to fill those out. That would be really, really helpful. We will move on to Kinetics Automation, and I'll hand over to Dean to introduce us.
Hello, I'm Dean Pick, CEO and founder of Kinetics Automation. We are a hardware company based out of Vancouver, BC. Our technology is based on shape memory alloys, which is a material science that we are putting into industrial uses. It has a million applications, but I'm here to talk to you today about 2 primarily, where we have found significant traction. The first industry I'm talking about is the natural gas industry. They walked through our door back in 2019, literally walked through our door. That's back when we had a very dingy shop in Richmond, BC. And they brought a problem to our attention. They said, we are operating and have been operating methane venting equipment on our sites. It is not accidental release of methane. No, we are actually getting high on our own supply. Our equipment is designed to run on this stuff. And when they're finished with it, we free vent this to atmosphere. We've been doing it for decades, but the times have caught up to us. So what are those times? Environmental regulations. There's now widespread recognition that methane in the atmosphere is a huge contributor as a GHG gas pollutant. Regulations such as Directive 60 in Alberta, Regulations 282 on our home province of BC, as well as EPA regulations are now tightening the screws, and we're even seeing the rollout of taxes on these devices. So introduce a solution 3 years later. This is our Kinetics valve actuator. Why did they come to us? Because they recognized our technology was unique in that it was a spring-loaded electric valve actuator that could replace their devices on site. Formatting's gone a little bit haywire on this slide, but ultimately drop-in replacement, we compete dollar for dollar against alternatives, but we have a much stronger value proposition on safety, methane mitigation, and process control. Our market size is enormous. We are addressing process control equipment, which in itself is a $200 billion market, but we're taking a very focused view on this market opportunity with millions of devices in North America. We can compete on a retrofit basis to get the polluting equipment out, make good money on a 50% margin product, competing head on with motorized alternatives, and start taking these polluting devices out of the landscape. This technology, I will spend little time talking about it. Come check it out at our office, sorry, at our table that we'll set up. Essentially, it's metal that Morse. We will be happy to demonstrate it to you. We do great things with this material. The competition, the alternatives are compressed gas, very expensive for them on a CapEx basis. We've also got motorized actuators, not spring-loaded, don't have a critical safety function. Ergo, our solution is the best available product on the market, and it's been demonstrated. Over 1 year in operation at Tourmaline in Edson, Alberta, one of our customers, also trialing in this province at a Petronas site north of Fort St. John's. It's a product that we've been able to de-risk, and we've also gotten commercial sales traction through a customer purchase order. Product's now been built and integrated into gas separators of the future that support a net zero site. These are not our renderings. This is our customer actually integrating our product into their separator packages that they deploy throughout Western Canada. We've also been able to demonstrate an ever-increasing list of potential applications with this valve actuator. It is quite universal. It could control the flow of natural gas. It can control the flow of beer in a distillery or a brewery. We're choosing to focus it on this particular market opportunity. Our partners are non-dilutive funding from the folks on the right slide here. 1.3 million total non-dilutive for this project. This is industry money, not just Canadian grant money. We've also received dilutive investment from these limited partner investors through the NGIF Clean Tech Ventures, which is the investment arm of the Canadian Gas Association. I mentioned second application. I have very little time, but I will say our biggest customer to date is the Boeing company. Totally different product, totally different value proposition, same core technology. We are introducing new motion control technology to the world, and we are finding traction. So I invite investment. We have a $2 million active round. Again, the slides kind of went sideways. But ultimately, this money is to bring this commercialized product to the market, Western Canada primarily, where we have an established CRM and sales pipeline, but we need money to get it to market. You can see the use of proceeds. We have 1.1 million committed on this round with investors providing follow-on investment as well as new investors setting the price. Come talk to us afterwards. And if you'd like, come visit us at the south end of Fraser Street. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Dean. All right. And so as he mentioned, we are going to have tables set up for the full presenters afterwards. So he has his product with him. Come and check it out. And for those of you online, there'll be a poll at the end of the presentations for you to express interest in any companies that you would like to dive into due diligence with. And those due diligence sessions, I should mention, are online. And so I will introduce Phelim for Crossplay to tell us a little bit about your business here.
Great, thanks, Aaron. And I want to thank Aaron and Lindsay and VANTEC for having us. It's really great to be here and such a cool venue. Although I realize there's some people here on the side that are empowering robots with cognition. I have questions about that. Anyway, I'm excited to be here. My name is Phelim, and Crossplay Digital Inc. is the name of our company, and Crossword is the name of our product. So Crossworder is a supply and demand aggregator for user-generated crossword puzzles. It's just like YouTube. Anyone can upload a video to YouTube. Anyone can watch a video there. It's just like that, but for crossword puzzles. So we launched in July, so our product is out there right now. And in February, we raised our first seed round of $440,000 US. This is our team. We're all based here in Vancouver. Our CFO, Craig, is at the back of the room as well. Everyone's here except for Andrew Anker. Andrew is in Silicon Valley, and he joined this project after retiring from a very long, successful career as an entrepreneur, a venture capitalist, and an executive as well. So a key part of the team. He's our board chair and our product head. And partially through Andrew's connections, we were able to raise our first round with some really impressive investors. So that includes 2 former vice presidents at Facebook, as well as some other really big angels. So what do these investors see in the opportunity? Well, word games, first of all, are huge and growing. So we all saw what happened with Wordle during the pandemic.
But Wordle is just the tip of the iceberg. It's really emblematic of a trend, which is that people can do whatever they want on any device, and what they actually love doing is playing word games. Crossword puzzles within that genre are the original hit game. So there's only a few games that have broken out of the hit cycle and become evergreen. Sudoku, chess, and crosswords are among them. And this makes them super valuable. But something's happened to crosswords recently. So they're not the crosswords that you and I remember and we've all done. What's happened is they've become a form of media. And that means that every crossword is a container, and the contents of that container can vary infinitely depending on what the person who's created it has put into it. So what's happening now is there's these individuals who've made crossword puzzles just as a creative endeavor. It's something they like to do. And they're making them tailored to specific audiences based on what those audiences are interested in. So a great example is Black Crossword. So Juliana, the creator, couldn't find a crossword that resonated with her. I think we've all had the experience of doing a crossword and thinking, how am I supposed to know the answer to this? So what she did was, she founded one. She just started making crosswords that spoke to, that community. So this is happening not just obviously with the Black community, but across any topic area. So Taylor Swift puzzles, The Office puzzles, you name it. So why this works now, and it's never been done before, is that there's now thousands of these individuals who come together online, and they're connecting and making these puzzles for the first time. And what happens is they're not able to share these puzzles broadly. So what happens is they start setting up their own website. And so there's hundreds of websites now where you have to go and find these puzzles. And what's happened is the status quo doesn't work anymore because incumbents, so again, the New York Times, would give everyone the same puzzle here, regardless of what interest you have or what identity you may relate with. So this doesn't allow for these individual constructors to share their puzzles with everyone who wants them. So that's very simply what Crossworder does. It consolidates and rationalizes this market. And the model we use is very straightforward. Again, much like YouTube, it's a content flywheel. So this means we have everyone who creates the content one place, all the content, and everyone who consumes that content as well. So if you check out our product, which again is live right now, you'll see that it's based on this principle and that the constructor profile is really the centerpiece of it. We give those constructors the ability to build their own audience. And we're not doing this just because it's a cool idea, this is where the market's going, but because it actually creates a very powerful business. You've got really, really long engagement. We've got 20-minute session lengths for crossword puzzles. Super habit forming. Again, Wordle is evidence of that, but crossword puzzles throughout their history have been very habit forming. And you get this super strong defensibility because it's very hard to displace a successful aggregator. There's only one YouTube. And when you win big at one of these evergreen verticals, well, when you win at one, you win big. So Sudoku.com was acquired 640 million. Chess.com does 100 million annual revenue. So right now, nobody owns crosswords because there was no model previously that made sense, but now we have one. So what we're doing now is raising money to continue building our traction. So because the product is already out there, we've started making progress towards our goals. In particular, we're really excited about the number of constructors that we have because we really want to go after the supply side of this market. So we're raising both here and in Silicon Valley, but hopefully raising as much as we can in Vancouver to keep this Canadian success story. Thanks.
Thank you, Phelan. Awesome. And under time, always like that. So next up here, I've got Manuel of Anyway I, and I will hand over to you to introduce us.
Anyway, is the name of our business. And we do user feedback analytics that helps companies make better decisions faster. Companies like to collect stuff like this. You don't have to read it. Twitter, or now X, the mobile app, this is a review for that mobile app. And Spike took the time in December to write all of this. And in the middle of a rant about Elon, there's also something about the product. Now, what is this? It has a number, rating. It has user-generated content. It's over time, and there's a lot of them. A lot of them. So anyway, reads millions of user reviews. Now, what about it? So imagine Mary, product manager for X, responsible with the X mobile app, looks at January. Oh no, ratings are down. Now, ratings are correlated most likely with time spent on the app, and her bonus is tied to time spent on the app. So how would she know why ratings are down? Read all 7,000 reviews? I don't think so. This is what we do. we find common statements from users that explain the drop in ratings. So right away, Mary can send them to UX, to a new feature, to evaluation of an existing release. In other words, do her job a lot easier, a lot quicker. Now, this is not available anywhere else on the market. And if you don't believe me, maybe you'll believe Brad, PhD, manager data science at Motorola Solutions. Motorola will be one of our first clients. So anyway, generates crisp, timely product actions. Now, we sell to Mary. Our product is, she gets a report, crisp report, actionable every week. We have a super fast dashboard that she can interact with, irresistibly priced for $10,000 a year. US dollars, by the way, everywhere else in this presentation. We go under the radar for most organizations' procurement. And we have a collection of add-ons that will take a fully loaded client to something like 100K. And we will work towards an enterprise product that will take to installations over 500K ARR. In other words, land and expand. Our competitors for the MVP are Review Analytics. Their products are not actionable. They give you data, but you have to figure out what to do with it. Our real competition is Customer Experience Management. These are established players, but their products are not out of the box. However, the Customer Experience Management market is very big and growing very fast. Just 5% of that growth will account for 1 billion by 2029. We have a shot at that. Peter and I, founders, have worked together before. Peter was one of the key tech leads at Pluto, maybe you've heard of that, 340 million acquisition by Viacom. After they were acquired, their revenue went to 1 billion a year. I was the CTO for a company called Vision Critical. During my tenure there, our revenues increased 100 times. I'm also a graduate of SFU. I have a PhD in natural language processing AI. They gave me a medal for my thesis. We're raising money to continue building a team and accelerate. You'll ask, accelerate what? We have a product, it's finished. We're working on onboarding our first customers. We have in consideration right now Motorola and Paramount, each of them with multi-data source deals. We have good partnerships in place already. We're working with IBM Research and Alida, formerly Vision Critical, for some of our add-ons. Our growth projections for the next 2 years are conservative, recession economy. However, we're targeting 4.5 million in 26. And our product roadmap actually follows our financial projections and business goals. We're looking at either a Series B or a 9-figure exit in 27, 28. Raising 1 to 2 million. 2 million will give us 24-month runway and will take us to 1.6 ARR and cash flow neutral. Anyway.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Manuel. All right. If you're interested, stick around after to chat with Manuel about Anyway. Next up, I have Polar Beer Taps and Shane Ladner to introduce us here. So I will hand over to you, Shane.
Oh, great. I'm Shane Lander, CEO of Polar Beer Taps. I was actually attending one of these events about 25 years ago and secured a VC. Met Mike over here briefly, and that VC really helped out the business. We are manufacturing and selling our products all over the world today. So, thank you, everybody. I'm just gonna, okay. So this has been a fantastic journey here. Really excited to show you guys this new technology. It's named a game changer by everybody that we've showed it to in the industry. But I'm going to tell you a bit about the story. These two gentlemen are also co-founders, and I met them and they said, oh, thanks. And they said that, hey, Shane, we want your help. We want to build a machine that makes really cold beer. I said, well, isn't there a machine that makes really cold beer out there? And they said, well, no, not on remote events. Not as soon as they come out of the pubs and restaurants, and they go to these, venues, festivals, races, all these kinds of things. The billion-dollar industry of beer dispensing equipment comes down to this when you're out going remotely. This jockey box, the plastic cooler, was invented in 1896. Okay, and that's what they've been using, and they put tons of ice in there, tons of ice in the kegs, and they're just pouring foam all over the place trying to survive the event. Or they get this really fancy trailer, there's a few of those out there that you can get, and they try and mimic what a pub or a restaurant does with their back bar cooler and all their glycol water lines and fancy tap systems and all that kind of stuff. And then they got to try and get this into the event, and it runs on a generator, and a lot of events don't even allow you a generator these days. Or you can bring this thing now. This is brand new to the market. We just filed for patents in February, and this can literally roll in to an event anywhere. Click in, quick connect, 3 kegs of anything. We have, we're going to serve you vodka sodas later, draft beer, white wine, all off the same system, and we can serve it at super cold temperatures. We can conserve all the foam. So basically, here we have almost zero waste in the middle. This is one of the biggest problems. Beer is one of the biggest polluters as well from CO2. So we've been able to drastically reduce that. We'll show you some numbers on that later, which is this 5 kilometers. So every keg that goes through this machine, it's equivalent to saving 5 kilometers of a car driving. That's just in saving the ice and the energy that's required to do things the way that they do them today. There's 1 billion liters, at least, that's only 5% of beer in North America that goes down the drain due to foaming issues and wasted beer. So to give you an idea of what's available today, our cost of this unit, even if we do a very conservative $250, your trailer cost is not just the trailer rental cost, but you got generator gas, you have CO2 costs, you got foam wastage cost. The jockey box, same thing, you got the rental, you got the ice cost, you got CO2, foam wastage is the highest, and delivery and pickup there. So, we can compete again, we can charge the similar amount to a plastic, cooler with coils inside of it. The model we found, because it's a recurring revenue model, is the franchise model. If we rent them for $250 a day and Polar Beer Tap sees 100, our franchisee sees 150, that even at 10 rentals a month, which isn't that much, a good caterer does about 200 events a year and a slower caterer about 100. So even at 10 rentals a month, we have an ROI on our machinery of about 2.5 months. And the same business model with 8 units, that franchisee can make themselves $144,000 a year. And of course, if they go more to the 200 events a year, like the better caterers, they double that, so 288,000. An idea of modeling this out, this first year, first 12 months, we plan on building 100 units, and they'll generate $1 million of revenue. So you can see how this scales as we go to 1,000 units and 2,000 units. And this is actually a saying that we heard at one of the events that we attended with our product. They were so excited to see something new in this industry. The jockey box needs to die. And we're like, yeah, we couldn't find her again. We wanted to get her name on here. So anyways, we've got patent pending. We have 5 trademarks already registered. We have a 1-tap system, this 3-tap system. We have another system that's being built right now to go into restaurants that don't have all the back bar chillers and all that kind of stuff. They can just put this in like where a dishwasher would fit, and they can instantly start serving 3 kegs in a restaurant that hasn't been able to do that. And we've begun our pilot testing. In the last 2 weeks, we've talked to some big boys out there. Actually, we're going to see Matt Phillips in another week. And we've already been in talks with Russell Brewing once, and we're going back to see them again. Same with 6-5 stadiums. We've already had initial meetings with them and come back, and they're excited. They have all these rooms that they're VIP rooms, and they would love to have this, going rolling into those events. And we've already partnered with another beer company. They do a lot of our beer liaison stuff, and they're the ones who actually set us up with Philips, a good relationship. Our ask is 500K, pre-money of 2.85. They're all common shares, 23 cents a share. I put in $250,000 myself, and we have access to $1 to $2 million of non-dilutive funding through just government grants and programs from one of our in-house partners has done this. Not to mention, just today we got the BMO has given us authorization to do non-dilutive debt funding for more equipment purchases or buildings, sorry. And that's it. Thank you.
Great, thank you so much, Shane. And I guess the one important thing you didn't mention is that this is going to be set up at the back. We've got wine coolers and beer that you'll be able to see for yourself what this technology is all about. So thank you so much, Shane. And on to our last presenter of the evening. I've got Ahmad of Verities, and I will hand over to you, Ahmad.
Water is the source of life, and yet humans, through our day-to-day activities, are increasingly polluting our oceans and waterways. At Veritas, we're on a mission to build technologies that empower people and communities to protect those precious water sources. Our technology uses a cutting-edge water treatment process called electrooxidation to isolate and eliminate organic pollutants in water. And we have a proprietary way that we do that. So we have a unique cell design that drives fast, energy-efficient degradation of pollutants. We use a physical retention unit to essentially capture suspended organics. And that really allows us to reduce the overall footprint of the electrooxidation system down to the size of a small shoebox. And our system is regenerative, creating no waste and requiring no maintenance. Now, our technology can be deployed into a host of applications and tackle a range of organic or carbon-based pollutants. The problem that we've decided to start with is microplastics. So microplastics are tiny plastic particles, less than 5 millimeters in diameter, and they emanate into the environment through consumer and industrial activities. When they do, they fragment into smaller particles, but they don't decompose in the environment, which means they persist. And currently, there's somewhere in the range of 350 trillion particles floating in the oceans. As they do, those particles are then ingested by marine life, and they have a detrimental impact on their health, and they make their way into our food systems. And science on this is just starting to emerge, but there's evidence of impact as microplastics reach our blood, placenta, mother's breast milk, and even our brains. Now, when we look at the source of that microplastic pollution, what we learn is that about 1/3 of those microplastics come from washing synthetic textiles in our homes. This is an example of how much microplastics are produced from washing a single polyester sweater. And this is the problem that we're looking to solve at Veritas. So our proprietary solution isolates and oxidizes microplastics and other microfibers that are present in washing machine effluent. We do that by first connecting to the washing machine effluent hose. We then capture the microplastics and drain the clean water. And the captured microplastics are then decomposed or oxidized into tiny bits of gas, nitrogen, CO2, and water. We own 100% of our IP, have a range of trade secrets, and a robust patent roadmap that encompasses material science, cell design, and product extensions. Now, growing awareness of the microplastics problem is literally creating a new industry vertical, and that's microfiber filtration and removal. To give you an example, there are a number of markets that are currently enacting legislation that will soon require all new washing machines sold to be equipped with such systems. And we've targeted North America and Europe as our primary target markets, and that's because of the favorable regulatory environment, but also the high rate of washing machine ownership, environmentally and health-conscious consumers, and strong consumer purchasing power. Now, there are some alternatives out there, and they're generally what are called mechanical filters. So mechanical filters essentially capture, but don't degrade those microfibers, which means that around 700,000 microfiber particles, something that looks like this, are disposed of in the trash. They make their way into landfills and eventually back into the environment. Mechanical filters also require ongoing maintenance and cartridge replacement, which itself is a form of pollution. At Veritas, we offer the only solution on the market that's capable of decomposing the microfiber waste. That means we produce no solid or liquid waste, require no maintenance, and require no cartridges. And together, these benefits also mean we're the only solution in the market that's capable of being integrated as an internal component of the washing machine. This is our first collaboration with Samsung Electronics. So we have a letter of interest and are just wrapping up our performance testing to validate our product technically to their specs. We also have a robust customer outreach strategy and are starting to talk with additional consumer appliance manufacturers about the possibility of collaborations. Really, our focus is on manufacturers that have a high commitment to innovation and sustainability. Our business model is based on developing and licensing our technology to these OEMs or manufacturers, and we anticipate that we're going to achieve revenue from that licensing in 2025. And based on our long-term growth projections, by 2028, we'll aim to divert 21 trillion microfiber particles from the ocean and 4 million plastic cartridges from the landfill. This is our diverse and highly qualified team with expertise across electrochemistry, environmental engineering and water treatment, material science, systems and mechanical engineering, and business. And we're currently raising a minimum of $1 million via convertible note. The goal here is to get to a commercial ready product and execute our first commercial agreements. And on the right, you can say we're very good at leveraging private dollars to get public funding. We're solving a really hard problem using hard technology. If that jazzes you up, let's chat. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ahmad. All right, so remember, if you're interested in any of the full presenters, they'll be sticking around. They'll have booths for you to come and chat with them. If you'd like to dive deeper into due diligence with any of those next week, please do fill out that card that you were given. And also, members, you have access to the material for all of these companies through the VANTEC website. So we've got our next event coming up always on the first Wednesday of the month. So next month it will be on December 6th, followed by the pitches of the SUV program as well. So definitely remember to sign up for both of those. Obviously, if you are a guest or you're interested in a membership at VANTEC, please come and chat with myself or Lindsay or Ashma, and we would love to welcome you to the community here. And so chat with us. If you have any feedback, questions, let us know. That's it. We're going to get to networking here, and I want to save as much time as possible for that. We've got fantastic catering from Truffles at the back. They'll be walking around with canapes today. Chat with the guys at Polar Beer, get a drink. But thank you all so much for coming.